Shut up and sit down.
Luke Henry, after kicking Monarch's ass to the depths of space, is back on Earth, and now he's looking to save the world from the Fourth World Foundation. Sure, he had help from Penumbra before, but she's not helping him this time. He's got to face it on his own. Look at these four people. He's coming for a villain known as Adonis. He'll do it. You'll be there. Back it now. First Man 2, Learning Curve.
Well, good Friday morning, everybody. Today's my birthday. If only Marilyn Monroe was still alive to say, happy birthday to you. What's up, JP Roca, Devil Flyer, AJ Tom, thank you very much, and thank you for that tweet. Hello, thank you. You are first today. I am. But before we start the show, special guest joining us this morning. You know him. You love him. Let's give him a round of applause. Big D, Dennis Turner from the Dennis and Andy Show, the famous Dennis and Andy Show, is in the house. Thank you.
Why, good morning and happy birthday, old man.
Yep,
Woo!
I'm officially older than you.
You are older than me for 35 more days. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Shut
Best
up.
35 days ever.
Oh, you
Of course,
son
I
of
say
a...
that every year.
Don't think you get special treatment. You better be drawing my funny. But later, son, I got up here at 6:20 today to work on a page from yesterday, and I just stopped working on it to do this stream. Now, I will say after this, I'm going to go in the house. I got to get my daughter up because we're going to see Eternals at 11:50. And then after Eternals, I got to go and set my stuff up at a convention. I say that every time I see Dennis wear a T-shirt.
That's twice this week I've worn a T-shirt. Ew.
But Dennis, do you have your little devil for your shoulder? Is he not? Is he right near you?
No, Susie's got him in front of her computer.
Mine talks to me at night. He's Andy, do a good stream today, and I'm like, I always do a good stream. Helen doesn't want this thing anywhere near her. So,
oh, she did not like that on Wednesday, because if you saw our Wednesday show, we premiered them on there, and we got in, and Helen was not a fan. She's like, that's creepy. Get it away from me.
Devil Flyer says, hail. We haven't seen Bond yet, so we'll tell you later. Going to see Eternals. I thought you wanted to enjoy your birthday. Oh, burn.
Oh, no spoilers. I've tried to stay away from all of the hype.
Yep. No spoilers. I got to be honest. A friend of mine saw it, and he posted on Facebook that he enjoyed it. So we'll see. It's a Marvel movie. I like the Marvel stuff. Dennis does too. My daughter totally does. And it came out on my birthday. So yeah, we'll be there.
You know what I did watch last night?
Oh, what?
Well, technically half watch, because
what am I doing with
if you
these
guys
on?
can see, I started rearranging. My new drawer boxes came in. So
mine did too, and he didn't even deliver them yesterday.
I know, because it was late last night. So I'm starting to rip out all my drawers and have to redo them and then build them all and stack them back up. So it was busy. So I was up in the man cave working till about 10:30 last night. And I decided to put on the original Dune from 1984.
Wow. You didn't want to watch The Professionals. You watched Dune. Wait, that's hurtful that you didn't want to watch The Professionals last night. So I guess I'll allow you back, though. That was your momentarily time out for not watching The Professionals.
The problem is if I turn on The Professionals, I have to be sitting in front of my computer and I'm going to chime in. No, I can't just listen to it. I would be talking all day long.
Drawer boxes. That's right. Drawer boxes, baby. They are, hi, Comicsgate. Hey, hail Comicsgate. I fell for a trap and watched the Eternals. It's not horrible, but stop it. No spoilers.
No spoilers. We'll give you our review after we watch it. Yeah, so for those of you guys who don't know.
Stop posting about it. Damn it. Wait, now that you're a senior citizen, will you be hosting Mornings with Andy with a cup of coffee and 3 older men at McDonald's? I might, but it's a senior citizen would be at an old school diner. Come on, man. Oh, Pedro Ang says there is no good Dune movie. Oh, smack.
Wow. This is a drawer box, guys.
Yeah, check out. So I've got drawer boxes too. You can kind of see if I move my mic. You can see mine as well. They're awesome. They're great. You just pull them out to look at your books. You don't have to take a lid off.
I may have to pop up a video on our channel later on building them.
You should, because I totally forgot how.
I haven't even built the sleeve yet.
Yeah, you should do that because I totally forgot how. So.
Oh, they're easy once you get used to it.
In other words, Dennis,
your comics like no other.
In other words, Dennis, on Wednesday, when you come over for the podcast, instead of coming over an hour before, get here at about 2:30 so we can do my drawer boxes.
You know what I hear?
You mean you're not meant to just keep comics in random stacks around the house? Not if you're Dennis and Andy, you don't.
Oh, no, mine are alphanumeric. I know where everything is. I will pop a link right here since you guys are asking.
We'll pop a link because the guy we buy them from is the original creator of the drawer boxes. There are some knockoffs out there, but if you want to get them from the link that Dennis just posted.
Yeah, so the biggest difference is these are much heavier. I've had some of these boxes for 15 plus years. And I've gone through 15 different moves, and I've never lost a box.
Oh, now AJ wants to get serious. Serious answer, $1,000 for 5 of them. Just kidding. For 5 drawer, they come in a case. Case is 5. So you get a case of 5 drawer boxes with shipping. I want to say, the shipping is the part that really kicks you in the balls, unfortunately, but there's nothing he can do about it because it's a big box. So a case of 5, I believe wasn't it like 150, 200 total, including shipping? I mean, honestly, the best thing to do is go to the website and just fill out an order for 5 and put in your address and see how much it shows the total is, because you don't have to do any payment stuff.
It is $56.25 for long boxes for 5 of them.
So it's $100 then.
Yeah. So then, and it's almost the same amount. And for years, I've ordered from these guys for years. So what he was an engineer that actually realized they're not just like long boxes. They're not just sleeves. They actually have rails. You can get rails, which we also buy to put in them, and then you can lock them into place. So, for example, if you've got a small amount of comics, but you've got a big box, you can lock them into place so that they don't slide around, they don't get bent, they don't get ruined. And then they also have lock boxes where if you pull a drawer out, they go, and you can lock all of these together. So these are all tied in. So they're all locked together. It's a great system. They've got knockoffs that only use 250-pound corrugated board that are BCW puts them out. They're cheap as shit. They're awful. These things, like I said, I've had them forever. They're a little pricier than the knockoffs, but in the end, you'll never need another set. They're fantastic. So they're worth the extra money. And if you need like a ton of them, like 100, once you get over 50, you get a discount, but you could probably have them bulk drop shipped if you needed a lot of them.
They hold a little less than a regular long box. I want to say they probably hold comfortably about probably 280 bagged and boarded.
Yeah.
I'd say that's comfortable. I mean, you could definitely squish in a full 300 like a regular long box, but if you want to have a little bit of play, wiggle room back and forth, bagged and boarded, I'd say about 280 comics.
Yeah, and see, the biggest thing is when you go to them and you pull them out. So if you can see that, they'll hold out. So I can sit there and pull out the drawer, and now I flip through it and see these are the anchors. So I've got all these books here, and I have room to play with that's in here. They're great, and you can sit there and you don't have to haul boxes down and dig through them, et cetera, et cetera.
And they also come with dividers. So if you do alphabetical like Dennis and I do, you can, they come with dividers that you can put in. And if you want to write on the tab, what it is. So when you pull the box out, you see the dividers and stuff. They're really great. I mean, I can't recommend them enough. You can see how many Dennis has. I literally need 5 more so I can complete my top row, because my top row right now are the old school long boxes. And since they're on the top, I can just pop the lid, but I'd rather have drawer boxes on the top as well, just to be able to pull the stuff out. And I think the highest you can stack them is 4 high. And I've got 3 high right now. So I got 1 more row I can go up.
No, you can do 5 high.
Oh, you can stack them 5 high.
I
don't. Could go up.
And the reason is the books at the very bottom, because you've got so much on them, it puts so much pressure on the bottom line of the drawers that it becomes very difficult to move the drawers in and out. So I'm only going 4 high.
Yeah, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'll be going 4 high with mine on Wednesday next week when Dennis comes over and helps me put them together at 2:00.
God, such a baby. I suppose I'll help the geriatrics put together their boxes.
You have to. The arthritis. I turned 52 today, and everything is falling apart. My arm, the arthritis is kicking in.
I saw your first man elbow. That's what we'll call it. First man elbow was kicking up because you were moving that around.
This might fall under the category of TMI, but we're all friends here. 52 years. Today's the first day on my 52nd birthday. I did not wake up with morning wood. I hope that doesn't continue.
It is TMI.
Good morning, pop culture.
Pop.
Yeah. So I really hope that it's not, I hit 52, no more kaboom in the morning. Because that would stink. Hyper Kaiju, thank you very much. Dennis, why don't you show us some stuff you got? Dennis got some comics in the mail he's going to show off. And then after he does that, we're going to talk about the topic for the day, which you guys saw on the link.
So I didn't have the first season, so I wound up getting Minxx Cyberpunk season 1 and season 2, because I never did get to season 1. Andy had gotten it, and then I had read his, and I liked it a lot. I really liked it a lot.
It's nice artwork. It's a fun story. It's nice stuff. The art is who's the art? I don't even want to get it wrong.
Hang on.
Yep. It's good stuff. It's on nice glossy paper.
Yeah, the paper is really glossy. Pat Shand wrote it, and then Romano Molinar is the artist.
That's what I thought, Romano Molinar. So I didn't want to get it wrong.
Like this, where she's basically fighting her clone and stuff, even as it opens.
It's really a fun story. It's sci-fi. It's about a badass chick. It's good stuff. I think I actually talked to that guy too. The writer, that is. So yeah, it's fun stuff.
Even on the fight scenes and stuff where she's in there, looks like kind of in jail. And then when you backed it, they of course do again. I think this one was Kickstarter, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, this was Kickstarter.
They signed it, and then pretty much like most of the comics guys do, they included, there's your trading card. That's a really cool sticker.
Yep.
I actually like the card too. I mean, he's got some creative, another sticker. And then the one I think you guys will like it all the way around. My anime kind of looking TNA.
Oh yeah, it's a nice one.
And this is
it's funny. You know what's funny? When I wear boxer shorts a little too short and you look up, that's exactly what my my gonads look like, except there's a little bit of fuzz.
Well, since AJ asked, even though he said never mind, it's Be Amazed.
We are amazed.
But it's Minxx Cyberpunk. I got that one, and I can't wait to read season 2. I'm probably going to wind up doing a quick flip on this. I got all my quick flips done on Wednesday and Thursday, so they're all officially up. So that was my first one that I got in, which I was excited about. But the other one that I really, really, really was super excited about, I better take it out because these are shiny. Beardzzerker. So for those of you who have been reading Beardzzerker, you know, the Keanu Reeves one, Don Chin did his parody, and this is fantastic. I wound up, this is the main cover, which I'll open up. I got a whole bunch of the different covers. I'll just kind of show you guys. That one's really
nice. Cool. Nice.
Trying to get that glare out. The fun one.
Oh yeah.
I did. I picked up a whole bunch of the different covers. And then he even threw in kind of that. And then on the back, because he's got fantastic parody stuff. Heroes. So, you know, he did a spoof off of Heroes. Absolutely fantastic stuff. I can't wait. I'll probably do a quick flip, but you know, Don did his usual fantastic job. I know I did my own quick flip as soon as I got him. And then I showed him to Andy right away that I had gotten him. But Beardzzerker, I've been waiting for this, so super excited. I will be reading this very shortly. And like I said, if you guys want, I'll probably post up a quick flip for you guys to take a peek at with some of the covers.
Very nice, Southbound. Very nice.
Oh, see, he got his too.
Yeah. So there you go.
Those are my goodies. So I'm always excited. It's like Christmas time, even when it's not a Wednesday.
That's right. Even when it's not a Wednesday. So there you go. So that is that's that stuff. Of course, being my birthday, I'm gonna pimp out a little First Man 2 learning curve. It's my birthday. If you haven't backed it yet, please go back it now. That would be awesome. I sent out an update yesterday for those that aren't supporters. You didn't get the update, but in the update, I got 2 new colored pages in from my lovely colorist. So here are these. There's the link. Thank you, Hyperkaiju, for posting the link. So here's some colored pages that came in. I'm having a couple little tweaks done to these, but overall, they're fantastic. So I'm drawing the book. The book's getting colored. It's all coming together. So go back, First Man 2 learning curve now. I would extremely appreciate that. We're on the climb to 600 backers, only 33 away. So let's do that. But more importantly, let's talk about the topic of today. Is it comic book related? Not at all. Because I saw this, and every now and then I just need to rant and rave a little bit. And it is Colin Kaepernick, who has decided he's got this new Netflix documentary called Black and White. And one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen, he compares the NFL Combine to slavery. There's quite a few differences there. Now, Colin Kaepernick, let's just go back through his career. He played for the 49ers. He actually went to a Super Bowl, right, Dennis, with the 49ers?
Yeah, I hate to say it, but that one season that he was really good, he was new. Nobody knew how to stop him, and he knocked my beloved Green Bay Packers out of the playoffs. So I've always got a thing for that.
And then, but they lost the Super Bowl, right? I'm trying to remember. They didn't win.
He didn't win.
Yeah, he didn't win. So they lost the Super Bowl. No big deal, Next year for the 49ers, I don't know if the next year's when they benched him, but his stats went down. Like, he must have been a one-trick pony because they found out how to stop the guy. His stats went down. Was it literally the next year? He started doing the whole kneeling in 2016. Was that the year after the Super Bowl, or was it 2 years after?
I think that was 2.
Yeah, I think it was 2 years after. He started doing the kneeling. That's not the topic for the day about him doing the kneeling and stuff. And it was a few years back, 5 years ago. But here's my thought on that. Look, it's America. It is land of the free. You have the freedom if you want to take a knee and protest, and you want to protest the flag and stuff, you knock your socks off. The issue I had was he was doing it basically on company time. And if I'm your boss and I say you're not allowed to do something, don't give me that freedom of speech stuff, because you can't run around a company and run your mouth as much as you want, because there is freedom of speech, but that doesn't mean there's not repercussions still. So basically it's like, look, pal, you want to protest and take a knee and do all that, do it on your own dime. But when you're out on the field during an NFL game, that's company time. And that's the thing. That's the problem I had. So anyhow, we get to this new documentary. Let's see. JP says Seattle won that year. I think Seattle won that year. San Francisco went. Wait, no, Seattle couldn't have won, because San Francisco and Seattle wouldn't have played in the Super Bowl, if that's what you're saying. So I'm not quite sure. I don't know I can't remember who San Francisco played in the Super Bowl. It was probably the Patriots. But oops. Dennis, do you remember?
Nope.
No. Okay. Doesn't matter. It was Niners Ravens. That's right, because it was the Super Bowl where the two brothers were coaching.
Oh, yeah, it was the Harbaugh brothers.
It was the Harbaugh brothers.
Yep.
Yeah, the Harbaugh Bowl. And yeah, the Ravens won. Yep. Yeah, he was awful. He's a mediocre quarterback. If, him bitching about not being in the league, I think there's a couple things behind it. I think, one, there's better quarterbacks out there. So, look, you're a mediocre quarterback. Why would I bring you on my team as a mediocre quarterback? And two, dude, I'm sorry, but you're just going to bring a lot of attention to the team that is kind of unwanted attention. The team doesn't want to deal. Whatever team were to pick him up, which I seriously doubt is ever going to happen. His career is over, just like Tebow's is, for other reasons. And even Cam Newton. I mean, Cam Newton's not playing because he wants to be a starter and he doesn't want to be a backup. If Cam was like, look, I'll take a backup position, he'd probably have a job this year.
So I did look it up because I hate not knowing something. So he was with the Niners for starting in 2011
as a backup.
He was just a backup. He didn't do anything his first year. Second year, he only played very sporadically. And then because he was behind Alex Smith, and then
Yeah.
Alex Smith, when he got injured, he stepped in and finished out the season. The 2013 season is when he officially started, and he had that great season. And that's where he knocked the Packers out of the playoffs in his first career postseason start. So it was 2013. And then 2014, he diminished. And then 2015, he really diminished. And then we got into all the kneeling.
Yeah. And it just brought undue attention. And like we said, if you look at his statistics, they weren't good. It just kept going down. He had that one good year. I think he was one of the, he didn't usher in the running, because I think part of it was he ran as well.
No, because at that time you had Michael Vick. Michael Vick was a prolific runner as a quarterback. So yeah, you can't say that he ushered that in.
But they figured out they figured out how to stop him in the next 2 years. They did, and like I said, it just went downhill. And if it wasn't for the kneeling and the protests and all that stuff, he probably would be a backup somewhere, or maybe a starter. But teams don't want to deal with stuff like that. They just don't want to deal with the headache that comes with the media attention, if it's not media attention just about football. So
yeah. Well, if you think about it, the whole thing that he's doing, remember they did the combine for him to bring him back in, and he's going to do his little stance and he's going to throw. And then he set everything up on his terms and moved it at the last minute. Everything has to be on his terms. And then when most of the NFL teams said, I'm done with this, what a shit show this is, they walked away. And then he goes, oh, that's racist. It's because I'm black. No, it's because you're an idiot who's purposely jerking the chains of the potential people who would hire you.
Exactly. That's the thing that is so annoying, is using his he's using his race as crutch, as an excuse.
Yep, that is him. That is
that's him.
Michael Vick.
And here's the next one. No team wants their locker room turned into a circus. Exactly. But let's watch this. So before we talk about it, here's a clip from the documentary. So if you guys are like, don't know what he's talking about in the documentary and stuff, here's a clip from it. So we'll watch this real quick.
Before they put you on the field, teams poke, prod, and examine you, searching for any defect that might affect your performance. No boundary respected. No dignity left intact.
Look at this here. Come on, who wants this?
The scene cuts back and forth between slave owners and coaches. On Fox News, a former NFL player slammed Kaepernick.
A process of someone living their dream, going to the National Football League, comparing that to slavery. It's gone overboard.
The film's co-creator, Ava DuVernay, appeared on CBS Mornings. Co-anchor Nate Burleson, a former NFL player, weighed in.
I remember going to pro days in the combine, sitting there with my shirt off and shorts, and them, seeing how big my hands were and how happy I was once I got on the scale. The difference is slavery was free labor. Now these young men and women who come from circumstances that might be harsh have a chance to reset financially.
So there you go. There's the clip, and it is so disingenuous, because like the former, and that's why I played the interview with the former NFL players and stuff, because look, Dennis and I never played in the NFL. I had my chance, and I said, no, I'm going to take a lot lesser pay and draw comics. I don't need to be a star quarterback. So
I also had my chance. I did play football in high school, and they said, do you want to play in college in the NFL? No, I'd rather read comic books and get fat, so I'm content.
Exactly. So that's what we did. And when I was in high school, I also was on the field during football games as the water boy. Very important job, as Adam Sandler taught us all.
So Hyper Kaiju says he grew up with a rich white family. What a joker. In Milwaukee, he was adopted with a rich white family, grew up in Milwaukee, had everything that a person would ever want to have. Parents loved him to death, but apparently they were racist too.
Yeah. So let's look at this. Like they said, slavery, comparing the NFL combine to slavery. Let's see. You choose to go into the NFL. You get paid tons of money in the NFL, even if you're just league minimum. League minimum, last I heard, and this was a few years ago, was like 400 grand. So yeah, 400 grand's pretty nice. And a lot of times those guys are, sitting on the bench. He got paid a lot more than that. There's also white guys in the NFL.
But notice you didn't see there wasn't one single white person on the entire video that you just showed.
No.
Other than the coaches.
Right. So they're also kind of engineering and manufacturing their own agenda, because if they wanted to be real, they would have shown white guys in that lineup with the arms out and stuff. And yeah, they do get poked and prodded, because if an NFL team is going to dump, let's just say $400,000 a year on somebody, they're not poking and prodding to make sure you can go out there and, do slave tasks and stuff. They're doing it to make sure you're the best athlete that they can hire.
Right.
It's not just about.
You see them with their arms out. So he made $43.3 million with the San Francisco 49ers. All right. So just think of that amount of money over 5 years. All right. So just
$9 million a year.
$10 million a year.
Yeah.
Now, they're showing them like they're making them degrade themselves? No, they're checking for, yes, they're going to look for defects, but they want to see, how tall are you? How high can you jump? I need to be able to jump up and intercept a pass. How long is your reach? It's like a boxer. A boxer comes in there. There's a reason they use the reach stat that's in there, because It's important. All of those things. If I'm a team that's going to dump hundreds of thousands or millions and millions of dollars into a player, I want the person that's going to give me the edge. That means their height, their weight, how fast they are, what they can jump, what they can do, what their reach is, how smart they are. Can they handle reading a playbook? All of those things are important. It is not slavery. You can choose to go do a job somewhere else, but you're entering, it's like Top Gun. You're the best of the best.
Well, that's just it. It is. It's like the military. The military puts people through different tests as well and stuff to see if they can cut the mustard. And if they can't, you're booted. I mean, you can get in. I don't know about this day and age, but last I checked, if you were going into boot camp and you were total and you just couldn't cut it, you washed out. That's just it. They would be like, man, you're not cutting it. Nowadays, who knows? Dennis, got to bring it all back to Top Gun. You damn right.
There's two N's in Dennis.
And it's called the pros, the big time, baby. Look, when you buy a car, you take it for a test drive. You kick the tires, as they say. You want to make sure you're getting your money's worth, because it all goes back to the fact these guys are being paid very, very well. AJ here is, let's see, the teams also need to try and get a good feel if an athlete is injury prone as well. Exactly.
But see, there is a difference between, if you're talking a first round choice where, you're going to spend $15 million a year or more, or if you're talking even in the later rounds, even if you're Mr. Irrelevant, you're getting league minimum, which is $400,000 a year. So, I mean, there's a huge disparity between the top and the bottom, but you still have to be able to rate everybody, and you can't just base it upon the team that you came from in college, because obviously not all college teams are created equal.
Right. Exactly. And then let's not even talk about the money. So obviously he's made, for a guy that is so oppressed for not playing football, he's certainly doing well with Nike. I mean, let's not forget he had Nike. What didn't he have Nike pull that line of because of him bitching about, wasn't it the original Betsy Ross flag or something on the Nike shoes? Nike was like, oh, get him out of here. I mean, the dude
But he had a
has
$10 million contract with Nike to push their product. Again, as a slave making $10 million a year.
not only that, but where are those Nike shoes made?
Well, if you're talking about, the child slave labor in China, but no, Andy, that can't be.
Right. Yeah, wish they'd let me have a crack at inspecting these guys for fantasy football purposes.
You know what? Some of us don't need to inspect them. We just use our intuition, and that's how we stay in first place in our fantasy football.
Hey, just a side joke a little bit. Those shoes, Hyper Guys, those shoes are made in sweatshops. Just to sidetrack for a little bit though, with fantasy football, I didn't even realize I did have one player last night. I got 9 points. My opponent got 17. I still have a 60% chance to win, so I'm happy.
There you go.
But
I wound up having to drop and add some players, and I've got COVID, I got injuries, and an injured reserve player. So, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
A tie. Andy also tied this week.
I tied with my daughter, and I played this past week. Yeah, we're done with the Colin thing, by the way. I said all I can. This guy's just such a jerk. It's not even funny. And the fact that he can say this stuff with a straight face.
And the fact that the media
ridiculous.
is holding his hand, allowing him to say it and not calling him out on it, tells me that the mainstream media is 100% complicit.
Well, it just shows you Netflix. Dave Chappelle does a stand-up special, a comedy stand-up special, telling jokes and stuff, and at the end really does tie everything in with a nice real story that a transgender person he knew, and that almost gets Chappelle. Well, Chappelle can't be canceled, but Netflix, the employees and stuff rain down hellfire. But this is just perfectly fine. So I want to start a fantasy cartoonist league. I'm at the top of that draft pick, baby. That's what the professionals are. Except we don't compete against each other. We all love each other. So last week in fantasy football, my daughter and I played each other, and it was neck and neck. And then 10 minutes before the final game was over, I had a 99% chance to win. She had a 1% chance to win. It was Tampa against New Orleans. She has Brady and Michael Evans on her fantasy league. But more importantly for this game, she has New Orleans as her defense. So even though Brady threw a pick, that New Orleans defense grabbed it. That got her a bunch of points. Within 10 minutes, my chances of winning went down to a tie. So my daughter and I tied this past week. So there were no bragging rights.
It was funny.
They just want the exact. Of course they do. Nope, you're right. So so there's a convention this weekend, Heroes Con here in town that I'll be going to. My daughter's really looking forward to it. She's cosplaying. She loves doing that stuff. So after Eternals today, I'm going to be running over to the convention center to set up my stuff. Dennis and his wife have other plans already, so unfortunately they can't go. So flying solo.
Oh, it's okay, Andy. But we'll see you tonight because we are coming over. We're going out with the Smiths for the birthday supper tonight.
That's right. And the name of the place is The Lodge, by the way, Dennis. I looked it up.
So I was thinking of Legion. So it started with an L. I thought it started with an L. I was so close.
You were so close. So yes, the name of the place is The Lodge. So when you come over before the movie, we can square away on the address and time and everything.
Yeah,
so,
and my weekend will be when I'm home, we'll be up here putting together drawer boxes for hours and hours.
What a great birthday. What a great birthday present it would be if I came home Sunday after the show and Helen let you in my office and I came home to see my new 5 drawer boxes all put together.
Do you know what would be a great birthday present if I came over and showed Helen how to put it together? Do you think she would put them together for you?
Hell no.
Nope.
You know what has a better chance of putting the drawer boxes together when I'm gone? This little dude coming to life and putting them together. There's a better chance of that happening than Helen ever putting comics away. In 26 years of being married, Helen has not touched a bag and board and put one comic inside one bag and one board.
Oh, see,
Not
my
once.
wife, on the other hand, will sit down and watch a movie, and we'll start putting bags and boards together for hours upon end. Because when I used to sling books and stuff at the conventions, you know, that would be a night. Sit there, put in a movie, and sit there and watch it. Now, we are going to go see sometime this weekend. I don't know when. My wife's a huge James Bond fan. We are going to go see the Bond movie because she wants to definitely see Daniel Craig go out on the big screen. So I've been staying away from those spoilers too.
So the next time we get these little 3D figures of ourselves made, AJ wants me to stick a huge cucumber in my pants for when they do And I told him, I said, that would be really awkward when people looked at my 3D figure and they turned around to the back and they saw that poking out the back. I'm like, AJ, that would be weird. I mean, that's what he meant, right?
Wow. I was going to say a 5-inch cucumber for a 5-inch figure. That would be funny.
That would be. Actually, it was funny. They were supposed to be at Heroes Con over the summer, but they're not coming to the show this weekend, unfortunately, because it would have been perfect. Because Courtney, my daughter, does want one, so one of her 3D figures like mine.
See, that is good news right there. But it was great. Don't want my wife touching my comics. All right, I'll have to tell you guys a really quick story. Andy knows this story already.
Hold on, let me tell him this 5-inch one right here with shipping was about 180.
About 180.
About 180, and then I paid the extra $15, and so did Dennis for like the extra detailing and the printing and stuff. So,
and it was worth it. It was worth it. They do go 4-inch ones, and then they go all the way up. So the bigger you get, the more expensive it is. But we just wanted to test it out to see how cool they were there. We were there. My wife said, quote unquote, that is the biggest effing waste of money ever. But it's
you didn't
really
say
cool.
effing though.
No, I'm trying to keep it at least PG-13 here.
I hear it. So Jason
really cool.
wants to know, how many rails and anchor packs do you need?
So I use rails in every single box. I'll show you a rail real quick.
Okay, while Dennis is doing that, I'll answer this question. You can do any pose you want. You can't wear glasses because it can't do the glasses, but you can wear a hat, and you can do any pose you want. So if you want to do a superhero pose, if you want to do an action pose, you can't jump up in the air. You have to be standing when the cameras take the picture, but you can do any pose you want for this.
Since we got time, guys, I'll take a minute and show you the parts of it. So this is what it looks like when it comes in. So this is just the drawer, the inner shell part. So it actually comes with parts that pop off. Here's your dividers. So they come with 4 dividers per box, and then it folds. So then they'll actually fold down and lock into place. You can write your title and stuff, up there. So then I'm going to make sure I pull them all off here because I already had used some yesterday. And then I'll build the drawer, but then this is what your rails look like. All right. And you'll see why in a second. I'll build one while Andy talks.
Oh, he's going to build one. So I'd have to get 2, then make a cool blister pack to display. So the thing is, like Dennis said, the smallest they do these guys is 4 inches, right? But the price difference between 4 and 5 wasn't that big of a deal. And they had all the different sizes on display. So we decided to go with the 5-inch one. Now that I see how good this is, the next time I do it, I'm going to do the 9-inch one. So it's going to be almost double size. It'll be about that big. And the detail on the 9-inch ones that they had there was phenomenal. Go to Facebook and search Shrunk 3D, and you can go to their page and see other examples.
And Andy knows it's well worth paying for that extra inch, he has been told.
It is very much worth that extra inch. Tutorial, yes. Andy, you got to do a First Man cosplay and have a nice prototype. Yeah, I wouldn't cosplay as First Man, but if I could find some buff dude, screw that. If I was going to do that, I'd get some chick in a penumbra costume. There it is, Hyper Guys U on the linkage. Boom, shrunk3d.com. It's a franchise. So you guys, if you want to start a franchise, you could.
They were the very first franchise owners. This is the mother and her son. They were the first franchise owners, and it was fantastic. It was a great experience.
Exactly.
All right. So this is what the actual drawer would look like put together. So it says long drawer, and then you'll notice you can write on the box, and it's on both sides. What I typically do is because
AJ says put Graham in the First Man costume. Graham's not. Hold on, Dennis. Graham is not tall enough. Oh, glad he's not here to see that. Okay.
I do Post-it notes like that, and then I put them on there because at times you rearrange things and add comics. So I do it that way. I didn't write right on the box, and all I do is kind of tape them over here. Now you're asking about the rails. Now Andy asked me to play First Man, but I turned it down. I said, yeah, First Man has to bulk up a little bit more to compete with this.
It's true.
So it folds out. There's two. You crack them. They pop off. Oh. They're just like that. And then all you're going to do is you're going to take them, insert them. There's one.
Wait, do I have the rails? I can't remember if I have rails.
I don't know. I asked you if you did. You said you did. So either that or you just lied to me and didn't know what the hell you were talking about.
What are the rails for again?
I'll show you. So now you can see that you have rails on the inside. And these wonderful dividers that we just took off, they fold. And I'll show them to you.
I don't know if I have rails or not.
You better.
Why? You don't need it for the dividers.
So now, when your dividers are in there, they're locked into place. So if I only have like my Minxx comics, if I put my Minxx and my Beardzzerkers in, I can lock them into each one of these and then customize how much space that I need. So as they're moving back and forth, yeah, these are awesome.
No, read that comment.
These boxes are probably the only thing getting railed in most comic groups. Well, I can't say that.
That's true. And it's true. Right on the box, it's so permanent. Yeah, I mean, I don't write on the outside of my boxes either. I should do what Dennis does. That's actually a good idea. Do the Post-it note things. Easy slide when loaded. Oh, yeah, they slide in and out really easy. That's no big deal.
I'll walk over. So I just pull it out. Here's Fear itself. Oh, for somebody that was asking, there's my Forgotten Realms comics. So it's
you only need. Okay, so Jason's asking about the anchors. You only need the anchors for the top boxes, the top row. So every row doesn't need anchors. The top row does. So when you pull a box out, that top row acts like one big section. So it can't flip.
So like this, see how when I lift one up, they're all lifting up?
Yep.
Because I've got them all anchored. So there's 4 anchors. The anchors are a little trickier to put together, but you don't need anchors for the middle rows because you've already got on the top, you've already got all the weights of the boxes. So they automatically act as anchors. So you can pull them out without anchors anywhere below, as long as you got boxes on top and they won't fall off. The anchors are, because if you just try and pull out a top box and you don't have them anchored down, as soon as you take all that weight and move them to the front,
right,
you know, the box will come out and it'll tip. You start flipping through it. it'll just flip the whole top out if it's not anchored.
Yep, that's true.
Oh, Jean Grey. Which Jean Grey? 90s? That's I did do. You're talking about the 90s Jean Grey. I did an unboxing video. So if you go to the Dennis and Andy show page, I did an entire video on the unboxing and I show the close-up details. It's fantastic. That's my newest one. I got it. My buddy who owns Needless Essentials, Toys and Collectibles, he got it for me because it's one of the Sideshow quarter scales.
He's not going to be at the show this weekend either.
Oh, isn't he?
No, because he's got to work on the second store opening, he said.
Well, good for them. They're getting a second store.
That's right. They are. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we should chat. Well, once again, First Man 2 Learning Curve. It's the birthday, so it's pimping it. Let's watch the trailer. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Good times there. Back it now. Back it proud. Share it out if you've already backed it. It all helps. I appreciate you all. Thank you for posting the link. We are kind of doing a birthday special in a way. I won't have time today to do it again. Here's a question for Dennis. What exactly is a comic appraiser for like CGC type stuff? Dennis, what is it that you do?
What do? I sit there and play with my comics and then read them and then do videos. But besides that, on my comic appraising side of things, let's say you guys have lots of comics and your house floods or burns down and you lose it. You kind of need to have your comic books insured either through your own insurance company, and everybody's different about how they do it. Because typically a homeowner's basic policy will not cover coins, cards, collectibles, comic books. You need to get them appraised to find out what the current market value is in order to get an appraisal done. So in case your house burned down, you would get full collections. I had Allstate contact me out of Atlanta, and the guy was really upset. This is a sad story. And he wanted to know, apparently, she goes, we don't understand why he's very upset because we told him we couldn't do much for him. He had gotten a flood, but he never had his comics appraised. So she goes, I've got pictures. So I said, send me some pictures. You guys wouldn't believe it. The guy had a Fantastic Four #1, an Avengers #1, an X-Men #1. They were all paper mache. I mean, literally, the flood utterly ruined them. And they do not have, insurance companies do not understand comic books. So needless to say, I'll have to go through and do an evaluation for insurance companies in case something happens, or I'll get a phone call and say, my mom or dad passed away. You know, I just want to know, is there anything worth anything in here? And then they'll pay me to come in and go through and kind of look at them. And then I'll either say, oh, yeah, you got something, you're going to want to sell these off, or nah, you know, do what you want with them. You know, it varies and everything in between.
Come on, Dennis, go downstairs and get that minifigure. The fans want to see it.
Next time I hop on, I will bring the minifigure.
Oh, my God, you're in the same house.
Do you want me to go down and get it? Are you going to talk?
Of course. Of course I'm going to talk. I
Andy
can run a
talking.
show without you.
I'll be back.
Dennis is sounding like the Conrad Thompson of comics. I don't even know who that is. And somebody's calling me old? That sounds like an old reference. Dennis is going to go get that minifigure to show you guys. So there you have it. Devil Flyer says, I photograph all mine and create a file per box, and I can review them all. I mean, I have an app that I use for cataloging my books. I don't even have a third of my collection on the app because I just started about a year ago doing it. I just need like a good full day to sit down, more than a day, probably 2 days to sit down and start going through and cataloging stuff. It's just finding the time. See, look how quick that was.
So I feel like we should be playing Vangelis's music. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Or the beginning of 2001 Space Odyssey. Look at that. It even has my Russell little R, if you could see that. It even printed the tiny little R that was sticking out on my shorts.
It just didn't really show all the hair that Dennis has on his legs. The dude's like a Sasquatch.
Yeah, I walk by Velcro walls and I get stuck. It even has my little gray sideburns. I mean, guys, these are absolutely amazing. The only problem is they're not to scale. Andy and I are both the same size figures.
5 inches, baby. I have like one comic. I can't figure if I should CGC or not. It's an old X-Men signed by Dave Cockrum. It's sealed in a bag and board with a COA, but it's a COA from a comic shop. I think it depends. Well, what issue is it? Because if it's a later issue of X-Men when Dave Cockrum came back to the run, I'm not sure I would get that slabbed. But if it's one of the first times Dave drew the book.
Type in and give us the details on it. I'll let you know.
Yeah, Dennis will let you know. He'll tell you. That's right. They turned out good. We could do a whole show where we just voice over with our figures.
And if you want to see what our ventriloquism voices are like, go back and watch Wednesday night show because we open with these guys. Hi, Andy. How are you doing?
Hey, Hey, Dennis. Lean in. Let's kiss.
By the way.
Oh, you're going to. Come on. Do you not know how to? What?
Kiss my ass.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
By the way,
dare you?
Susie goes, she just got off her meeting and she goes, what are you doing? I says, they want to see the figure. You can't have that. That's mine.
No way.
I did. I took it and ran. So unlike Helen, my wife wants to see this little picture of me.
That is crazy. Helen does not want that thing on her desk at all. That is so. I'm going to take it in the house and put it on her desk when I go in just to see.
I'm telling you. So, guys, what do you think? We're going out for Andy's birthday tonight. I said, because Helen really hates it, we should take our figures with it. And then when the waiter comes up or the hostess seats us, I'll be like, oh, we need a table for 4. And before, so the girls don't see it, go put these figures on the table and we'll put them right in front of like Helen's plate where she'll sit down.
Exactly. And by the way, welcome to the stream, Vasan. I think I might have pronounced that right. I hope please subscribe to the channel, everybody who hasn't. I recognize most people commenting, so I'm sure they have. The Lodge is not Steak and Shake, even though it's my birthday. And if I wanted Steak and Shake, I'd have Steak and Shake, pal.
And we like Steak and Shake. We have been there, although they're more automated now than they were pre-COVID. And then make sure you guys, if you guys don't, make sure you sign up and subscribe to the Dennis and Andy show, because a lot of the stuff we're talking about that we reference comes on our Wednesday night show.
That's right. That's right. But guys, it's been an hour. I'm going to run. I got to get Courtney going. Dennis has to get going because he has to be over here soon so we can go to the movie. Hyper Kaiju says a Steak and Shake just opened by my house. You should check it out. Steak and Shake's awesome.
It's fun.
It's good. And the Steak and Shake here, when Dennis and I went, we were in for a real surprise. Guess who doesn't have waitresses or waiters anymore? The Steak and Shake by Us is now go in and order at the kiosk, which I assume they did because of COVID. And I also assume they did because they don't have enough workers. So way to go, people bitching about $15 an hour to flip burgers and stuff. Now you're not even going to get a job at Steak and Shake. So there you have it. I will. As soon as Dennis gets here, he's going to give me my birthday spank.
I was going to say, which sword do I have to bring?
Oh, I was thinking the monkey. Monkey, spank the monkey, monkey.
No. I was thinking. Let's see, which ones are we going to do? You know, I do have my Lord of the Rings.
Hey, you know, if you wear a cheese head for the next little figure, I should wear this.
You should. That's what I was saying. If we do it again, you got to wear it. But I was thinking more of the devil sword.
Oh, that would be nice.
Right? One devil, right up the pooper scooper. Whoop.
Oh, gross. Gross. Well, guys, thank you all for joining on my birthday. I really appreciate it. I'll be back next week. Dennis and I will be back next week. And wait, another question. Is that an elven blade? Oh,
Indeed,
see, I just call it a geek blade is what I call it. A super nerd blade.
Well, my other one, I actually have a rapier for my Three Musketeers costume, if you saw it on our Wednesday night show. But that's still piecing together for the Renaissance Festival. And I'm not going to undo it because I probably won't use it again until the next festival. Man,
the more you talk about that crap, the more I just want to remove you from my stream.
Wow. You know, the problem is, Andy, you're a small nerd. You're only a nerd in a tiny little segment. The rest of nerdom, like Dungeons and Dragons and Lord of the Rings, fantasy, good sci-fi, you're just kind of out there. You need to expand your nerdiness. And that is my goal in life now.
Is to expand mine. That's fine. You do that. Yeah, you don't have the Highlander sword, so you suck.
I do not have the Highlander sword. That is absolutely true. That is really cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No, she's too far away in the house. She can't hear him.
Oh, no. Well, yeah. And she's got the doors closed and everything. So you guys were asking before. I've got a quick little story before we go.
Sure.
My wife, before we got married, because we met in college, and then we decided, well, she told me we're going to get married. Here, just to answer this, that is the Bristol one you're talking about. It's on the border of Wisconsin and Illinois. And we used to do that every year when I lived up there since like 89. And then we moved to the Carolinas and they have one up in Huntersville. It's almost the same as the Bristol, but the local one here, I mean, that's the one we do now. So it's been a number of years since I've made it back to Wisconsin to go to the Bristol Renaissance Fair, but yes.
Oh.
So the story was my wife goes, because I didn't have near the comics I have now, but I still had quite a few. And she looked at me and she goes, when we get married, what are you going to do with your comics? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Are you asking, am I putting them in a closet or in a separate room? And she goes, well, no, you and your football cards, you need to get rid of them. And I went, whoa, nope. If you're telling me I have to get rid of my comic books, then you don't understand me as a person, and I'm not marrying you. She thought I was joking. And I'm like, no, I'm dead serious. So she goes, well, that's just stupid. You'd not marry me over comic books? I'm like, if you don't understand the comic books, my X-Men in particular, you don't understand me, and then we'll never make it long term. So nope, I'm done. So here's what we did. I said, here's what you're going to do. Because she's 2 years older than me, so she graduated before me. She went and got her job. She moved out to Sheboygan, and I gave her all my comic books. Yes, Hyper Gaiju's right. I said, you read the X-Men, and then we'll talk. So 6 months later, I take a trip down to her, and I walk into the bedroom to drop off my bag, my suitcase and stuff. and there was a picture of Gambit and Rogue over the bed, 2 separate posters facing each other. And I went, what the hell is this? And she goes, okay. She goes, I will never continue to read the comic books, but I absolutely understand why you love the X-Men. And Rogue and Gambit are my favorite characters. So she goes, I am good with your comic books. So I got rid of my 250,000 football cards because that was my trade-off, because I decided to keep my biggest passion, which was comic books. And hence, she still enjoys it. And my wife knows more about comics than she gives herself credit for, and it's scary.
That's true. Let's see. The X-Men is issue 118. That is a Dave Cockrum cover, but I believe that's John Byrne on the inside. So that's cool that it's signed. So it's 118, Dennis. What are your thoughts on getting that graded?
So if it is in good shape, like, I don't know if you know the grading system well, if you think it's at least like a very fine or better, and it looks like it's in really nice shape, not a lot of creases, I would say, because they won't verify it through CGC, you could send it into CBCS, and then they have a signature verification program that you pay. It's either $15 or $20 now for. It goes through a third-party signature verification person, so you'll give them everything that you've got, and then like your certificate of authenticity, and then they'll certify it, and they'll put it right on the label that it was signature verified, that it was his signature, and then it'll be in a nice red label. I have several like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can answer that.
Way to do it if it's already pre-signed. There's just no other way to do it.
So Dennis, answer this question real quick, and then I'll answer it. Oh.
How long did you guys date your wives before you revealed the nerd life? About a week.
Probably the first date, because
yeah,
for me, I was already working in comics. I started drawing in 1991 for Marvel, and then I met my wife in 1993, and 1994. Sorry, 1994. And it was just a topic of conversation about, oh, what do you do? Blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, this is what I do for a living. So that was it. It's a Whitman version, if that counts for anything.
Honestly, I'm more concerned with preserving the value just because Cocker's no longer going. So it's Trafco. I would say this. That is the perfect reason to slab something, especially since you're not overly worried about the absolute dollar value. You're just trying to preserve it. Do it, but get it authenticated. So if you're anywhere near where there's a big convention, CBCS and CGC usually go, but only CBCS will do the signature verification like that. Have them do it. Yes, I would get that one done. I think that's a great comic, a great piece, and with him signing it, especially the COA, chances are it'll definitely come back authenticated. That's just a great piece. Kudos to you, man. But I would do it, yes.
There you go. All right, guys, that's it. We definitely have to get going because we got to get ready for the movie because it is this morning. I thank you all for joining us. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Please, for my birthday present, if you haven't backed First Man, back it. If you have backed it, share it. And I will see you guys next week. We will see you on Wednesday. Bye, everybody.
Live long and prosper.
I'm bringing sexy back. Yeah. Go ahead, go with it. 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 Sexy girl. Go ahead, go with it. Sexy girl. Go ahead, go with it. Sexy girl. Go ahead, go with it.